Hi, I'm Eric, and I'm at Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm, and I'm going to go look at some fruit trees. We're having a Florida drought, it appears. I could always tell because the star apple trees, the leaves start hanging a little more sad. They're not quite as perky, and they will drop all the way down but not fall off during a drought. And then as soon as it rains, they perk right back up. Citrus kind of does the same thing, and other fruit trees do. But it's really nice that we don't have to water. I think that is like the most amazing thing. That seems to be what people are trying to accomplish in agriculture. But we accomplished it, and it's very easy in Florida. But for some reason, people look at this and they think it needs to be, to purchase that it's not kept. And they think that all those grass and everything needs to be either mulched out or pulled up. And they don't understand that to dry farm, you really need to have all that stuff in there, even real close to tropical fruit trees in Florida. Or if you pull it up or from around the tree will die if it's small and there's a drought. But if you leave the grass, the tree survives. So they have a preconditioned view of what regenerative agriculture looks like, and then they are shown this and they just assume that it's not cared for. But they say the trees look good, but they fail to see that there's like more plants than any nursery around has on their lots that are planted in the ground. So and they're all being grown naturally. Nothing needs to be done, no inputs. You could be organic certified and biodynamic certified. You would have to do inputs for biodynamic certified, but for organic certified, no, nothing. Nothing is done. So your paperwork is very nothing. There's no inputs. It's so easy. And even the orchids bloom, and the aroids grow just fine. And nothing needs to be done. That's the beauty of it. So yeah, it's not maintained by a human, it's maintained through nature. And that's how you get trees and produce to grow without being watered, is by removing yourself. I don't think there's any other way to do it. You can, in Florida, I think you have to let all this stuff, probably you could have your own plants in there, but I like adding plants in combination with whatever nature puts there, all this grass and flowers and herbs that are growing in here. I didn't have to plant, and then little by little I add cuttings of aroids and gingers and plant fruit trees of that's a durian tree, there's a coffee here, there's a bunch of different stuff in here. And eventually the other stuff will outcompete the stuff that nature put there. It just won't. There won't be any room for it. Be too shady probably. But until then, it's a foolproof way to naturally feed and water your garden, because they form relationships with all the other plants, and it functions as one. So all these plants, these water hogging plants like bananas, they provide water to the system. It's like their storage for the soil and for the plants, the other plants. And then fungi is below ground and inside the plants, and that connects and is also another storage of water below ground, outside the plant. But in times of drought stress, the plant can call on the fungi and get the water and other biology that it needs to survive. The only problem is people will get nursery plants and they're chemically altered so that they have mutated, in most cases, have mutated so that you have to use a chemical response because it can't defend itself naturally. If it can't turn on the mechanisms needed to signal for water, then you're not going to get a very good result. But I found that growing this way and planting bare root and then planting our own seeds, this stuff is more resilient. And like our bananas, I did 165 cuttings. I brought them up to Citra and have been experimenting up there at Ups and Downs Farm. And they didn't have any roots on them up until like a month ago. They were like almost like a cacti that you left out above ground. So it was like hardened off. Because some of them would blow over and I could see the roots. The roots were gone. It was just like a dried cacti on the bottom. So I know that they didn't turn on and start growing until it warmed up. And so I'm pretty sure that if you use compost and water in winter in bananas in that area, the chances of them dying from a fungal issue are probably pretty high. But since we dry farm, and I knew that these bananas can be dry farmed because that's how they're farmed, and so I wasn't worried about it. I had faith in it that they would grow, and they didn't even get affected by the 26 degrees, which surprised me. Now it looks like most of them are popping up. I'm very happy about that. Cashews are looking good. We got big pomelo on our trees. Bananas, I always look for banana racks because our tortoise loves bananas. He didn't like mulberry leaves. I tried some different ones, but he just ignored them. He's like 115 pounds, probably 120 now. He's huge. Looking at this little Polyteria there. Pretty sure that's what that is. So I missed the fruit. My partner ate some of the fruit of these rose apples, and so I'm like looking at them and all the fruit, not all of it, but a lot of it dropped off. So I got a bunch of seeds. So I can sell seeds of the Syzygium jambu palmarosa, the pink giant fruited rose apple. But I noticed that they're blooming again. Both of them are blooming fairly nicely. So that is very exciting. And I saw this one is covered in blooms too. See? Haven't opened yet, but I see a lot of blooms on everything. There's some more. And it's got fruit on it still. So, yay. I always like stuff that reblooms. This is the sugarloaf mango. So we had some realtor look at our farm, and thank God one of us always comes here, is always here. So they left the door open and all the other doors were unlocked. I noticed some paint was peeled off one of the doors. I don't know what that was from, Were they like picking it or what? But I mean, I wish I could use his name, but they were from Sebastian, and they have a YouTube channel. I feel like going on their YouTube channel and saying something, but I'm not. But I mean, I can't believe that somebody would do that. My partner was so pissed. Oh. They were the one that thought that this was not maintained. Like, don't look at the fact that you have all these hundreds of different fruit trees, thousands of different trees and plants, and that you don't have to water them or fertilize them. Just look at the fact that you think you need to change something. Or what they think I need to do more work and get rid of this stuff. Oh my God. Delirious. Here's a Rollinia. I got a little Rollinia fruit today off the tree, the other tree. I should have showed it, but I'm not. It's ripe. I'm going to eat it. They're good. They're small fruit, but at least they're fruiting. So I guess technically I have some fresh Rollinia seeds. The fruit's small though. It's like it's small fruit. So, but it's delicious. Here's a orange crush jackfruit. It's got lots of fruit on it. So we're going in a drought. So this usually in the past has been not a good time for trees, but the jackfruit, once they get their fruit a certain size, they seem to be able to hold on to the fruit during drought. Could screw them up the next year if it's a severe drought, so that they take a year off from fruiting. But when you have, I don't know how many jackfruits we have, probably 30. My friend Gemma gave me a bunch of seeds, and I see those jackfruits coming up in several places. Thank you, Gemma. So here's the mango. It's going to be a good year. It's going to be I'm not going to cross my fingers because we got a major bloom going on a lot of our mangoes. Maybe I'll do a video of it. But there's a lot of fruit. This is Malika. This is the one that had all the powdery mildew. Somebody said the manure can get rid of powdery mildew, yeah, or get rid of fungal issues. Just basically, the new foliage, it won't be on there, and it doesn't affect the fruit set here, so it's not a problem. And they come from the trees are damaged. They're altered chemically from the way they grow them and start them. So they're probably their mitochondria has been mutated so that they cannot signal. They can overcome and produce fruit, but they can't really. They always carry a viral load of fungal in them because of how they were started, and probably because they mutated. That's why I'm growing seeds of all our polyembryonic trees. And then I guess we could probably sell these full-grown grafted trees if we wanted, or somebody could. But here's a Kezar. Kezar produces good fruit, and it's flowering again where it didn't set fruit. Chemically altered. Same thing goes on when you people that just can't see that plastic is an issue. You're chemically altering your plants. And microplastics, nanoparticles, plastics are smaller particles of microplastics. And you get them through using plastic to grow in and to distribute water. It's really, you can't get away from it. All water's all distributed that way, but microplastics are forever chemicals, a mix of forever chemicals and heavy metals. So all the different forever chemicals and heavy metals in little, like, pathogenic vectors to humans, chemical antagonists. That's what it is in humans. Little cities of them. This is a mango that froze 3 years ago. I don't know what I was looking at. I was looking at this Anamoya, but I was zeroed in on that tree. It looks like it's going to produce fruit. These little tiny flowers, they do not produce fruit. Flowers have to be big. Same with sugar apples. But I see some large flowers forming. This is a juicy peach, and it's got, or not juicy peach, this is a juicy peach are all in bloom again. This is a super Julie tree. It's in a deep shade position. It has a lot of fruit on it for considering. This great big Ingus cinnamoniae tree is above it. Yeah, plastics. And when you can't conform to plastics, biology doesn't work with plastic. It diminishes photosynthesis in plants. It's something you don't want. It reduces microbial life. That's another thing you don't like. So eventually there's going to be a percentage of the plants that are going to be made up of plastic from all the overuse of plastic we've been doing, and the way water's delivered in plastic, and the air and the rain. And so the percentage of microbial life would have to diminish as that makes up all life with the increase in microplastics. So I wonder what percentage it is going to take where it just is a complete shutdown of biology. This is Namdak Mai. Fruit look good. I'm happy. It's going to be a good mango year. Florida looks really good. Yep. Look at all those mangoes. There's a lot of mangoes on this tree. Yep. These are longans. So I got my ginger. I'm going to get some more to bring up to Ups and Downs Farm. That's what I'm going to do while I'm here. Look at all the longans on this. This is going to be a good for such a little tiny tree. Tree shampoo. These opuntias are coming up. Prickly pears. Look at all this fruit. Yeah, spots from the nursery, fungal issues, but it doesn't affect the fruit. In fact, I think maybe some of the fungal issues might enhance the flavor. I would think it would have to, since it's like it would definitely have to change the flavor. Enhance it in a good way. So, not that I would continuously just leave nursery started trees to produce fruit, because I want to see what the seed grown polyembryonic mango fruit trees are like. There's a Garcinia humbroniana. There's lots of cashews. It's going to be a major cashew farm. Yep, somebody's going to come in here and hire somebody to put plastic down all over the all over the ground that some of these big tropical fruit tree people do, and then run drip irrigation to everything. Totally screw it up. But that's that's if that's the path that somebody chooses to take, then they have that right. But it'd be why? But same thing happens when I give people seedlings, because we don't sell plants, but we might start selling plants. I'm not going to rule it out anymore. But I give them seedlings. I said, now this is second generation cacao. Now please, dry farmed, second generation dry farmed cacao. Please continue dry farming it and let me know how it goes, because it's adapted to that. And they come back and they're like, oh my God, the cacao's doing great. I said, have you been watering it? Yeah, we've been watering it. And I said, oh no, why? Oh, you should see it. It looks great. Yeah, it's my cacao. It's dry farm cacao. Plants aren't supposed to have water continuously. It's just unnatural. So it might be good, but what happens when the pipe breaks or you get your water turned off? Because I know they live in the city. So maybe they have a well. Well, if they have a well, it's probably got forever chemicals in it, because when you live in the city and everyone has septics and they have wells in their backyard, those are all laced with forever chemicals. So I don't know, I wouldn't use it. But yeah, that's what they say. Here's cacao in here. So I know that if they're doing it and they come by here, then somebody that buys this, I have to assume, that's what they're going to do. Cacao, Trinitora cacao. We had a really bad drought, I guess it was 2 winters ago. And there's a cacao there too. Is there? No. Yeah. That's an achachiro. There. Blends in too well. Drought 2 years ago, and our producing cacao, a yellow-ribbed cacao, seed started, second generation, dry farmed, and it produced 30 fruit, and I should have picked off all but 5 of the fruit, because the tree's not huge. So I didn't do that. And I should probably go look at it when I'm talking about it, just to see what it's up to. And it took a year off. It took a year off for producing fruit, but I think that's okay. I'm pretty sure that makes for a stronger tree, because I know that the plants that get affected by drought a couple times, the third time the drought comes along, they're unaffected. So it does make them stronger. So it's just the fact that it didn't die and it produced 30 fruit during a horrible drought. Dry farmed. Here's another cacao. These garcinias are looking really nice. Really nice. There's cacao through here, but I can't really see them. I did see this big anthurium, Capulus fatum, or another big giant leafed one. There's that big cacao. Oh, here's the the jaguar cacao, the white cacao, seed grown. It doesn't really like the drought, but it's got a new leaf on it that developed during winter, so I know it can grow here. And it's not liking the drought, but they can lose their leaves and look very haggard. Here's a keppel tree that's looking really nice. Survive winter, no problem. But here's the round leaf cacao. Did I call that other one the round leaf cacao? That's the jaguar cacao, the white cacao. This is the round leaf cacao. Looks great. Cacao. But here's this tree that produced 30 fruit, and when it held them, then this branch here just died. This whole branch, which I leave on the tree. We don't get any of those beetles in the bark. Fungi comes out of our bark. But I don't see it flowering. And in winter, this can lose all of its leaves and look really bad because winter is kind of hard on them, especially being so far north. But I've gone through winter and like we'll have 2 leaves on the top and that's it. But this tree's about 9 years old and it's produced 2 crops for us. So I imagine it's going to get better and better every year, and eventually the droughts aren't going to affect it. Maybe they won't affect it anymore, but I'm sure it's going to produce a fruit this coming winter. And then we have a Trinitoro that I'm sure is going to produce set fruit this summer sometime, because it's flowered last summer. So anyway, too much excitement, too many plants, not enough time. Been really liking the orchids and not dendrobium, that's a dendrobium orchid, but the guanacaste tree. Beautiful. Anyway, I'm Eric, and I'm at Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm, and it's kind of hot here, and it's always beautiful. Have an excellent day. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment. I always enjoy hearing from you.